Hey, what's going on, peoples? This is Mark E in the building. I'm back with you again. Just want to chime in and say, hey, I'm back in full effect. There's been a lot of changes going on, but just been trying to do some things. Just trying to grow and progress and keep things going in this real estate business. And sometimes, that keeps you busy. So just wanted to touch in and say I will be back with more videos and more content. So appreciate you guys that are still following and subscribe. Today's video is on home inspections. Home inspections is something that's very important. I think they're needed, especially when you're buying such a big purchase. Something that's an investment, something that's for you and your family, something that's for shelter. So I wanted to touch bases on the home inspection for you guys and just to let you guys know what is all included in the home inspection, how to navigate the home inspection, and pretty much what it's all about. So with that being said, we're going to dive into that today. I won't be too long, but we're going to dive in. Let's go. Go, people. Now, home inspection. A home inspection is something that is very important, and especially today, in today's market, I think it's still very, very important and relevant when you got a lot of people out here waiving inspections and things like that just to get an offer accepted, and then they're buying something they don't know what they're buying. Next thing you know, they get in there, there's a leak, there's a, whatever. There's always a problem, especially when you don't do home inspections. You want to know what you're buying. Same thing when you're buying a car. That's kind of how I always approach it and tell everybody, hey, it's kind of like you're buying a car. You want to test drive it, maybe take it to a shop, have them look over and just say, hey, what issues may be coming up in the future? What am I looking at? Check the Carfax, the Carfox, whatever you want to say. And, it's just going to tell you exactly what is involved with that car. There is going to be some things on there that you might be like, oh, I had a wreck or whatever the case may be, but at least you are aware of what's going on. So you want to be aware. Same thing when you're buying a house. So first things first is the cost. Inspections cost anywhere from about $400 to $500, maybe $600 max, depending on what you do and what you include in the inspection. But for the basic home inspection, about $500. So also can factor in some extra things that you might want to inspect, like the sewer. Depending on the location of the property, if it's in the city, the inner city, a lot of older cities have clay pipes and things like that, and they're old. Sometimes they crumble. So yes, you always want to make sure you get a, sewer scope if it's in the city. Sometimes on any property, just to make sure. I've had clients, that have bought property and neglected to do the sewer scope. They get it. Next thing you know, there's a leak, and then they got to dig up the yard. It's 10 to 15 grand that they did not factor in, and it can hurt. So spend the extra $100 or $75 or whatever to add that sewer scope on there. Sometimes something on your area, you might want to do the radon, which is a carcinogen, gas. You might want to check for that. There's other little things as well. Obviously, the major things is what you really want to check. So, like the roof. You can get a roof to come out there, a roofer to come inspect it, just to get another look, because home inspectors are not roofers. They can give you a general idea, the age of the roof, how many layers is on the roof, but they're not roofers. So they will not be completely 100% accurate when it comes to that roof. So that's something else that could be extra. But the main thing is you want to know what you're buying. And, also at the end of the day, don't be alarmed at some of the cosmetic things that pop up. Some of these homes, especially depending on how old they are, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years, our country does not build enough new homes, is the reason why we have this inventory problem. So a lot of these homes are older. And so if you're going to have an old home, it's going to have some problems. It's going to say, hey, well, we had this foundation fixed, or, it had this issue with the driveway, or whatever the case may be. So don't be alarmed when you see that. Be alarmed maybe if they did not address it. Now that could be, something to look at. But if they're cosmetic, you're getting a home. I always tell everybody a home is what you make it, and you're going to have to spend a little money on your home. I don't care how perfect you think your home may be. If you're going to keep it long term and for a long time, you're going to spend a little money fixing up your home or fixing little things. So don't be alarmed, and miss out on a nice home because of a few cosmetic things. Okay, so I just want to put that out there as well when it comes to these home inspections. If you got a thorough home inspector, they're going to tell you every little bitty thing that is involved with that property. So what you should be looking at, telling everybody what you should look at is the major things that are very costly. Now, those are the things that you should look at. Furnace, the HVAC system, AC unit, the roof, electrical, plumbing. Those are the things that you should look at and, make sure that those things are taken care of and that they're addressed in your inspection. Comes down to it, use it as a avoid all tool or negotiation tool to where, not necessarily saying, hey, seller, can you make these repairs? Because the seller is going to try to make the repairs as cheaply as possible, just be honest. So what is best to do is look up what it might cost to do some of these repairs that you might want or things that you found in the home, and then ask for a credit. If you get a credit, then that way you can afford to pay for those things yourself, and then you can pay the right person, make sure they're done right, as opposed to having them do that. But they can go ahead and handle repairs however you want to do it. But, in my opinion, I would say, hey, ask for a credit or whatnot. That way you'll have that extra cash and you say, hey, I'll take care of it myself. But everybody's different. So those are the options when it comes to that. A lot of people are waiving inspections, and, I never recommend that. And what I do is say, hey, we're just going to do an inspection so we know what we're buying. That's it. And if we're unhappy, yes, we'll walk, but we're not asking for any repairs. We're not asking for you to fix anything. I don't like to say we're not going to ask for, a reduction. I hate to say that. But sometimes you can say, hey, I'm not asking for a reduction, depending on how nice you think the home may be. But you can say, hey, no, this is just for information purposes only. And, I'll walk if I don't like it, and I'm only going to take up 2-3 days of your time. It's not going to take me 5, 6 to 10 days. So that way these people's home won't be off the market for so long. That's also another plus, and that's a negotiation strength as well. A lot of people don't want their home being tied up for 10 to 12 days for you to say, no, I'm sorry, I don't want it, and then back out. So you can say, hey, I just want to get in there quick. It'll take me 2-3 days. I promise we can put that in writing. And, hey, if we're happy with what we see, we're going to move and we're going to proceed forward. If not, then we'll back out. But we're not going to ask for any repairs. We're not going to ask for any price reduction. But you can leave it open as well to where you could possibly ask for price reduction on that. So, that's just things to consider. Sometimes first-time home buyers freak out when they see little things on the home inspection. Trust your realtor, trust your agent, trust your broker. That's why it's always good to get that professional opinion. They do these all the time. They walk through them all the time. They see many homes. They see many inspections. So they will let you know what's serious and what's not. Ask questions. Go and attend your inspection. Take the day off. It's worth it. Go to your home inspection and know, because they will explain stuff to you while you're there. It's a little different when it's hard to just look at a piece of paper and say, hey, this is the home I'm buying. This is my inspection. Go to your home inspection. A good agent should recommend that you go and attend your home inspection as well. So you're in the know and you're walking through it right along with that home inspector. And so you can know what's going on with that property before you buy it. So these are all my home buying, home inspector tips for those that are in the market ready to buy a home. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out. But I know it's getting hot right now as their inventory is low and it's tough for buyers. And so a lot of people want to waive inspections. There's other things that you can do besides waiving inspections to get your offer accepted. Stay patient, stay active, and be aggressive. There's a couple other things you can do, like making the earnest money non-refundable. You can offer a moving truck expenses or something like that. Get creative, but there's things that you can do to get your offer accepted. Obviously, the appraisal waiver, that gap, you can also increase that, add that in there, escalation clauses. There's all types of things you can do where you can still have an inspection. Got a company now here in my area that I work with, an inspecting company, that they're offering walkthrough inspections now for like $100 or $150, to where they will walk through the property with you. It's not necessarily a home inspection full per se that you get on paper, but you can walk through it and you can say, hey, when you're going to go view that property, you can pay that $150. Walk with that agent, walk with that home inspector. He will walk through and tell you yay or nay, and tell you if it's good bones and what to look out for. And you will know that as well. And that's another cheap way to say, hey, maybe I will waive inspections, but still having an inspector walk through that property with you. Home inspections. That is it for home inspections, people. Stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.